Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted episode 187. Getting very close to 200, Joe. Coming to you live via the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, we are there. I am, of course, your host, Bison. And today I am joined by the man, of course, simply known to us as the Joker. Hello, brother. How are you?
I am dripping like a madman. How are you?
I tell you what, it is definitely warm here. It's definitely warm here in the UK. We're just not used to it, are we?
No. We're complaining when it's cold, complaining when it's raining, complaining when it's warm. It's a great British thing to do. It's British tradition.
It's just humid. It's just really, really humid. It's making me sweat like anything. Absolutely tripping. I feel hotter and sweatier today here in the UK than I did a couple of weeks ago in Turkey.
Yeah.
It was boiling hot in Turkey, but it wasn't humid. You know what I mean? It didn't struggle to breathe. It was just hot.
Yeah. I've been terrified. I've caused one or two minor seizures earlier today. So
I've even brought up a sweat towel. You know, to wipe, keep my brow dry. Nobody needs to see the Bison in a sweat. But there you go. Let's have a look who we got in the chat. Let's have a quick gander before we crack on. So I think already Mir's in there. Melonhead, I can see. I was going to say Stream Elements there. And I'm like, well, I know what that is. Damn.
And Eric Isaac, happy birthday for Friday. For this Friday.
It's good to see. Now, don't forget, guys, if you've joined us early on, let us know. We like to give everyone a shout out who joins the show. So make sure that you leave us a little message just to say hello, and then we'll make sure that we do the same. Yes, we'll get to that in a second. So, as obviously Mir wants to get cracking, let's get slap bang in the news rumors and of course the TNA Explosion Impact recap of the week. Let's get in there. Paul Matthewson's in the house. Nice to see you, buddy. Right. The Hardy family set to take 2300 Arena this weekend at the tapings. We've got Matt and Rebby is going to be facing Eddie and Alicia. And the Hardy boys will face Eddie and Eddie Edwards and, of course, Brian Myers of the System. Wonderful. They knew they'd come. I think that's going to be great. I know that some people are like, why did they not take part in the tapings? I don't know. After Against All Odds, that's kind of a strange one. It is weird. Maybe they did. Maybe we'll see a bit more of them tomorrow. I'm not too sure. But I think this is great news. I can't wait to see the Hardys in action. Apparently, Rebby is coming back to the ring after 8 years? I think.
Yeah, eight or 9 years. She stopped wrestling before. But before she stopped wrestling before she had Max also, at least 8 or 9 years now.
Gotta be a
happy birthday to King Maxwell for last week too.
Oh, of course, yes. King Maxwell was definitely.
King Maxwell is now
9 years old. Incredible.
Yeah, I watched the Matt Hardy interview with Matt Hardy going over the Hardy compound from his YouTube channel. His kids absolutely loved doing everything that he did there, working with Moose, Eddie Myers, and everything. And Maxwell wanted to jump off the top highest part of the ladder and do that leg drop to Brian Myers, but both Myers and Matt had to not yet. And when they watched all, they just said to Matt, "Can we watch it again now? Can we watch it again now?"
Great to see. Great to see Gary's joined us as well. Thanks, Gary, for joining us. And yes, I'm not sure which one is sinner and the saint. I guess I'm the sinner, I suppose, and of George would be the saint, wouldn't he? You never know. You never know.
I fart halos and they burn into ash.
Is that right? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so now here's the thing. Now, this is one thing I wanted to talk about this week before we go into all the other stuff. What are they doing with Ash Boy Elegance, Joe? I'm just not getting. I'm just not getting it. Joe.
That's that's just my opinion. When I see George Iceman come out and do the whole constantly, I think that ran dry very quickly, and every time that she makes an appearance, I'm skipping forward to the match to just start, so I can just see the match get underway, regardless if it's Ash by Elegance actually in the match or she's come to sit at ringside and just be in the way.
I just don't understand where this is going. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I mean, obviously obviously it's going towards a match with Jordan Grace, but I don't see whether I just don't see that as any good. Like
I see it's too soon. I think it's too soon.
But they need to get her in some credible matches rather than just story.
Well,
I think
Rosemary's got a vendetta against her at the moment. They're building something up with Rosemary. You know, she's still going to avenge Havoc, even though Havoc was like human and everything. But Rosemary's still going to get revenge for Havoc.
Well, maybe, but I just don't get it. I don't get
it's a burn that's taken on too long. Like with Ali finally getting into the ring and doing something, it's sort of gone on longer than it needed to.
I mean, Eric is right. I mean, I don't think Ash is championship material, but I don't even think she's championship match material. I've got to be honest. I mean, everything that I've seen from her so far. I mean, I stuck up for her at the beginning because I was saying, look, I don't think that Gail, you know, and whoever Tommy would bring in this girl if they didn't think she could do the business. But I just don't think she's done the business. I mean, the character is fine. Don't have any issues with the character, but I just think it's just too much character and not enough wrestling.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, the whole idea was that, you know, she wanted to prove that she could go in the ring, and I just don't see that.
Yeah.
I've not seen that at all. I mean, she had a couple of good matches with Zaya.
Yeah, those are the other ones that have gone for longer than like 5 minutes when the matches against Zaya Brookside.
Yeah,
or that have had any meaning to them and development or anything, and then it's sort of now she's just facing off against people and beating them in 2 or 3 minutes again. Although
it's back to that whole squash match crap. Although the one this past week I thought was actually like Heather Records, I thought was pretty good. So we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But they're just not going anywhere with this, and I'm not getting convinced that this girl can go in the ring. So
we're waiting to be proven wrong or
I think that's all. I think that's all we can do, isn't it? I think we just have to wait. Okay, this past week, Wesley makes a Rascals quote during an NXT promo. Did you see this?
No, I didn't know. I mean, this is the first I've heard about it too. So I was reading the script. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Oh Christ! I wish I bloody looked. I didn't see it on Twitter or Facebook. Okay. I didn't even see anything from Shane Miguel or Wentz.
So basically, what he's doing, he's talking about some match that he's got for the the American Championship or something, and it's his last go, and he's saying like, I've been known to be a bit of a rascal. That's what he says. I've been known to be a bit of a rascal, and then he does this.
Yeah,
right,
brilliant.
And I'm kind of, and that was the end of the promo, pretty much. Now, now if that's not
that's a shout out to his brothers.
A, it's a shout out to his brothers, but B, I think, could we see the Rascals turn up on NXT? What do you think?
I definitely think we could do, because Wentz has been pushing for it as soon as like Joe Hendry and Kazarian and Jordan Grace started coming over to NXT. Wentz was the first guy saying it, and then Wesley was getting attacked backstage. There was a 3-on-1 assault then, and Wentz was saying, and then get me intro over there. We'll back you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, there is a possibility, isn't there? You imagine doing a run-in like they've done in the past.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Get some spray paint and blast them all, and then get out the ring, and then do that a couple of times, and then get a real 6-man tag team match and really turn the heat up.
Oh yeah, man! I think it would be brilliant. And Eric's got let the Rascals reunion begin.
Yes,
I think that would be cool. But again, you see that the NXT TNA kind of connection is still there. I think that was it, wasn't it? I don't think there was anything else. I don't think anyone else popped up on NXT this week, not as far as I'm aware. But there was.
I see. No.
There was references made, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
They're still there. It's still there. Ace Austin has become the Wrestling Revolver champion, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And I think hoping that's going to be the first step on his road to eventually becoming the TNA World Champion. What are your thoughts on that?
He is. I've said it many times. Ace Austin has been one of the most incredible wrestlers I've ever seen step into the ring. You know, this is like 7 years into his career. He's now a Grand Slam champion at Wrestling Revolver. He's won every belt they've had available. Sammy Callahan has pushed him to the moon and back and given him nothing but like freedom, praise, and everything, and support. And it's really, really paid off. TNA have done the same, and he's just absolutely blown everybody away. As soon as he came into those tapings at Canada and whacked Hayden Prince in the back with that cane, and that was just like bang! You knew this guy was something special. Just with the promo afterwards, and it was just amazing. And I even in this promo to Chris Bay this week, you know, building up that they're ready to go for the tag team titles soon again, and all this. It was just amazing to see, and
ready to go. Ready to go. ABC is easy as 1, 2, sweet. There you go.
I've been saying to Jake and Big Boy and our boy Bobby to shake Ace Austin's hand for me, because
man,
that's the closest I'm probably going to get to meeting him or anything. So knowing my luck, and sadly I can't make my own luck as good as Ace Austin can. You know, I ain't got Mean Jay Miller.
No, exactly. So, but yeah, no, I think it's fantastic news to see that. I mean, they're putting on him, they're giving him a run, see what he can do. I think it's great. Hey, Terrence, nice to see you, mate.
And you know, Alex Shelley he's faced Alex Shelley before and had an absolute fantastic match against him, and now for Alex Shelley to pass the torch over like this is just great endorsement from Shelley too. It's just a great show of respect from Alex Shelley too.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think when the torch gets passed by someone as good as him, you know, that is quality. No, it's fantastic news. So I just want to say a quick hello to Hakeem as well. Sorry, I missed you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. I might agree with you, by the way, with regards to Ash by Elegance. I do agree with that. Anyway. Now this is an interesting one, and I think the responses sort of kind of came about yesterday, but Taz has a pop at Jordan Grace on X for a tweet where he pays homage to him with the quote, "Beat me if you can, survive if I let you," and later retracts with a video. You know, I mean, I responded to it as well, to be honest. I mean, the way he was going on about, you know, people making money off my name, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, you know, he's going on about, I follow her career and all the rest of it. But mate, seriously, if you did follow her, you would know that the woman doesn't need to make money off your name. Yeah. You know, she's a self-made millionairess, for God's sake. And an absolute badass in the ring. So, yeah, she was paying homage to you, not... You know, like she did with Scott as well. And, you know,
and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, with all of these guys, she's always doing things like that because she respects the past. You know, which I think is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, it's just Taz is a bit too much ego at times.
Yeah, being a little bit sensitive there, I think, Taz, definitely. But glad to see him eat humble pie. On the video to our, of course, world champ. TNA sign Sinner and Saint. What fantastic news is this? Now, we've seen these guys.
Brilliant.
Well, we've seen these guys turn up a few times now, and man, they are good. I'm really excited that they've decided to sign these guys. We'll talk about it in a minute, but they had a great match on Explosion. This past Friday, so that was pretty awesome as well. But great news. Oh, hang on a minute. This is the company doesn't want to sign anybody, doesn't want to spend any money. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
They don't have any money left. Nobody wants to come into the company.
I do want to obviously pass on our condolences here from TNI UK on the sad passing, of course, the Wild Samoan Sika Anoya, who is, I believe, Roman Reigns' father. Am I right? Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I think it's his father or his grandfather, but I know he's on that side of the family, and it's my God. So you look, but you think back to how the Wild Samoans, that's like back in the late 70s, isn't it, or something? That's like one of the benchmarks of the WWF. But that, my God, it's just another legend of the business gone, and it really hits home. That's how much talent have come from these guys, and even people like me don't respect that enough at times. So and it's just all I can say is my condolences go out to the entire family and everybody and any fans. It's just really hard to take on board and begin to process. So I don't know how the whole the family are feeling.
Well, I mean, it's got to be, it's a tough time for them. It's a tough time, and it's a tough time for everybody. So all we can do is wish them all the best and send our love all that way. The dude was amazing, and look at what he's, amazing Samoan family. I mean, they're just amazing, huge legacy on the business. Huge legacy on the business. Okay, TNA are selling the Jeff Hardy hand-painted match-used chair from Against All Odds. As I said, it's going to be signed, and all proceeds are being donated to the American Cancer Society. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I like that. TNA do a lot of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, Jeff had to donate it in the first place, I'm sure. But I thought it was I loved it as well. It was a great chair with his,
the chair was fantastic. And Jeff asked him to specifically donate it to this charity. I think it's because Matt and Jeff's mum died of cancer, or his dad did. Or that so it's one of those two died from cancer. So it's something that was really personal to both the Hardys. And it was just such a great way for him to basically say thank you. It was so touching. All the bidding's finished by now, so we don't know how much it was raised, but we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, it would be good if we could say that. Because I'm sure once it gets sold, we'll see how much it raised. But I bet you it's going to be at least in the thousands. I'm sure. Yeah. Definitely late 100s. But I reckon it's going to go big. But there you go. Now, it's been released that TNA have sold over 2,500 tickets so far for Slammiversary, and with 3 weeks to go and only one match announced, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. That's incredible.
That is good. And basically every time they release more sections, they just sell them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Now I think, as far as I'm aware, they're trying to hit 4,000.
Yeah.
Which I think would be amazing. I think, with the tradition of walk-up sales as well, if they don't sell out before Slammiversary, I think they'll certainly sell out on the night.
Yeah, they'll get over 4,000 people in that building, including standing room. It's going to be packed, absolutely packed, and it's just going to be loud, and it's going to be like Against All Odds, just on an actual proper on a slightly larger scale. The crowd in Chicago was absolutely fantastic, even on last week's Impact.
A slightly larger scale, Jesus, about 3 times the size, dude.
Yeah, my math isn't Scott Steiner math. It's at best. So I think I got a D 3.5 times and 2/3 every time I reset math. So,
but I mean, there you go, Mir. He's saying was 60 days from now. What's that? Your birthday?
His birthday. I'm guessing.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe. But anyway. So we've also had some more great T-shirts being released for TNAmerch.com, including fantastic knockout shirts designed by Sammy and Alicia Edwards. Have you seen that one? I'm going to get that one.
Yeah, I've seen the new Matt and Jeff shirt as well. That looks fucking good. But the system one and all these new T-shirts that are coming out are just are amazing. They look absolutely amazing. They really up the design and marketing and that for whoever the hell's designing all these shirts.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. You know, look back.
Have you seen? Did you see that our friend One of the Dead, who done some stuff for me? He designed our logo. Funny enough, our impacted logo. He is put some design that he did with for Matt and Jeff, and is trying to get them to commission it. It's a really cool shirt. Really,
I think
cool
it's amazing.
Shirt.
It would be. I think they should. I would love it if TNA would endorse that shirt and get it on. Or if Matt and Jeff even just said, "We'll take it," and
they could do it themselves, couldn't they?
Yeah,
slap it on anywhere. They could sell it anywhere. Yeah, it wouldn't be a big problem.
It's an amazing,
cool
amazing. The shirt looks absolutely amazing. When I saw the post, I thought it was an official release from TNA, and he was like the guy who designed it. So, oh my god, I would love. If that goes on sale, I'll definitely buy it. So I don't care if I'm.
I said that. I said if this become an official shirt, I would 100% buy it. Really cool. Okay, let's have a chat about Explosion. So back to the two fresh match format, which we've been saying they needed to do for a while. But the show opened up with Torero and Quintero versus Saint or Sinner and Saint. Of course, winners being Sinner and Saint. I thought that, again, really good match. I think every match that these guys have had, whether they win or lose, has been really good, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic match.
I think it's a good signing. Really good signing.
Yeah, I was watching it on Tuesday, as you know, because I was messaging you a rolling commentary during later stages of Impact on my thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
But watching this match, I was thinking to myself, TNA needs to sign these guys because these guys are absolutely incredible, and this has been like the third or fourth week we've seen them now. So I had a feeling that they might be getting signed. And Gia Miller and Tom Hannafin were really bigging them up too. And then when the news broke, before I sent you the messages this afternoon saying that they've been signed, I just screamed, and my dogs woke up. What the fuck's wrong with him?
Yeah, no, I think that was a great signing.
so excited that they're coming because they're going to really help shift the momentum in the tag team division.
Oh, mate, yeah, definitely. I think it's good. They're adding more tag teams to the division. They're bringing in more really good talents. I think it's fantastic to see. I really do. Hey, J-Bone. So that's good. Great news. Good match on Explosion. We then got From the Vault, which was Slam 2013, and it was the Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell match. Now, man, I remember watching this one live. What a fucking match. I'm going to say that now. What a match, right? Great match. This is one of those I love this match moments. Absolutely fantastic match. And I had to watch this one. I normally don't bother with them because obviously I've always seen them before. But I remember this was a great match. And I'm like, I'm going to watch it. Great match.
Yeah.
Great match. Jordan Grace then goes around the ring with Gia Miller. That was quite cool.
Talking all of the dogs and cats she's got. I love that. It's just reminded me of me. Basically, I grew up with dogs and cats my entire life. At one point, we had about 6 or 7 dogs and 5 cats.
I know what you're talking. I know what you mean. I definitely know.
But this was when I was living in Ireland, so the place was a bit bigger. And but still, you know, we've had a hell of a lot of dogs and cats and so it's only now has been the lowest amount of dogs I've had ever.
So, really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay, so we then go into the Explosion main event, of course, which was Leon Slater versus Con. And after a brutal fight, I have to say, it was a fight. Leon Slater picks up the win over apparently the baddest man in TNA. However, this baddest man in TNA seems to lose an awful lot. But so he clearly isn't that bad. But great job, Leon Slater. Beating this ginormous dude with a swanton bomb, I might add. Yeah, what a good match. Really enjoyed it. Happy for Leon to get a win. And that was the end of Explosion.
Yeah, but that dive, he run from one corner to the other corner and to then land that flip. in such a confined space. That's precision that we saw at Wrestle Carnival. It's just insane how he can fit himself into those spaces like that. It's like Ace Austin and Trey Miguel and Mike Bailey. They can just go flying at any velocity and then somehow get themselves right into that spot perfectly. And
I think it's to do with all those years of practicing in those kind of like very small confined spaces.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Just to get it in.
It blows my mind seeing it every time how the hell these guys do it, because any attempt I'd done at a swanton bomb, I overshot it a few times or landed on my head.
Oh, mate, totally.
I managed to go full proper flip and it landed properly, but it landed into a bush.
Right, fair. Come on, Joe. Jesus Christ. When was this? 30 years ago?
About 20 years ago, yeah.
Fair.
Backyard wrestling era.
Can't beat it. Hello, Zach. Nice to see you. Okay. It looks like Paul Mathewson is also back. Glad that it's back to the 2 matches format. I am too. I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, so Impact. The system kicks off the night in the ring after 13 minutes of nonsense. That's how I can put it. Santino appears and announces that there will be a Road to Slammiversary tournament to determine 5 opponents for Moose World title, and it kicks off tonight with Josh Alexander versus Eric Young. I like the idea.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be great. It's a bit like the Bound for Glory series, to be honest. They're
exactly
doing it for Slammiversary.
That's exactly what crossed my mind. This is like the Bound for Glory series, and everyone's been calling for something like this to come back again. I think the closest thing we had it to it was last time was when we had that 6-man match in 2020, but that was down to Tessa Blanchard not wanting to show up, so we ended up with six stars versus for the TNA World title then.
That's right.
But for this, then I get set up as a legitimate reason, and all the matches. My God, whoever wins and loses in these matches, it deserves it, and it's going to be so heartbreaking to see the guys lose. Especially, but the ones I'm most looking forward to are the last 2, with Frankie Kazarian and Mike Santana versus Joe Hendry and Jake something.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be the 2 make or break moments, because Kazarian and Hendry in this match, if they faced off against each other, they would go cause havoc and blow the place up completely. And if Santana and Macklin can get in there, then they've said born and done. Now it's back to let's go beat the shit out of each other and cause hell. And Jake something is just someone that deserves it to be in this title match as well. So badly after that X Division title shot fell short.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see, aren't we? We are gonna have to see, because we've got several matches that have been set up for this. Obviously, including the ones that we're going to go and see tomorrow night, which we'll talk about when we get there. Sid Rhodes, I'd like to see Alicia versus Rebby Hardy. I think that'd be really cool. And thanks for joining us tonight, Barry. You lose it against all odds, so you're in the #1 contender tournament. I'm assuming that's aimed at Josh and Eric. Well, that's fine, but they're still both former world champions.
Yeah, they're former world champions. Josh Alexander is the last match he had, he won. I mean, in the singles competition, he won that one. He got injured, and Eric Young was the same. I think or was that when Kazarian cost him? I can't remember. But they're both like the standards of TNA, basically. So for them not to be included in any sort of stipulation towards Slammiversary's main event would have been a huge bad move, basically.
I think it makes sense. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. You're talking about the longest reigning world champion. You're talking about Eric Young, who's 3 times world champion. So
3-time world champion, and at the moment the voice of TNA.
There you go. So
one of the voices of TNA.
Ace Austin and Chris Bay discussed their significant victory against Eric Young and Josh Alexander against all odds. They expressed their desire to regain the TNA Tag Team Championships and request another big match next week on TNA Impact.
The ABC.
As easy as 1, 2, sweet. We then get exclusive video shown on TNA social media featuring Frankie Kazarian addressing after their participation in the NXT Championship #1 Contender Battle Royale on NXT. I like the bit where he says, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
But anyway, so that I thought that was cool. But again, we had seen it already on social media, which is kind of weird. So it's not really very exclusive. But anyway, we then get the Hex versus Spitfire. Now, this was a good match. Expected it to be a good match. And of course, Spitfire pick up the win. Now, my only concern here is I'm not sure where this leaves the Hex, because again, you know, they get a world title shot, they lose that. Sorry, they get a tag title shot, they lose that. They get a #1 contender almost, you know, type shot with Spitfire. They lose that. You know, this is a type of team I'd like to see signed. These
I was
would be great signed. So, but I'm not sure where they're going with it, and they're obviously not signing them. I don't know. But it's a shame because they're very, very good, right?
They're fantastic. I never thought we'd when Marty Bell and Alison Kay, when I first saw them, they were the last two people like I'd expect to see teaming together when they left TNA, and then they come and then I see them taking over NWA as the Hex, and it's like, wow, these two are really, really looking fantastic. And then they come to TNA 5, 6 or 7 years down the line for the first time. My God, they have gelled together perfectly. And this
very
match
good team.
This match
very
against Danny Luna and Jody Threat really, really showed how good that the Spitfire have become. In such a short, again, in such a short space of time, they've just gelled perfectly. And the Hex, I'd love to see the Hex stay on a bit longer, even for just for developmental and do something else. But I think that they'll be now that they're heading out of Chicago, they'll be moving on elsewhere too. But
what the Hex?
Yeah,
it is a shame. It's a shame. Okay, a recap is shown of the ending of Against All Odds, where Moose speared Rebby Hardy through the table after pulling her in front of Matt Hardy. An exclusive video posted earlier on TNA social media features the Hardys and Rebby addressing the system, vowing to take TNA over. I didn't get this, right, and I'll tell you why, because Jeff just sort of kind of stood there gormless, saying nothing. And Matt seemed to be kind of slipping in and out of Matt Hardy and broken Matt Hardy. And
I think that was character work.
Do you think that was on purpose?
Yes, I do. I think because Matt has like done something that broken Matt Hardy would not do. The system have basically broken Matt Hardy, rather than Matt Hardy turning the system on the system. They've got one up and over him, so they think they've broken Matt Hardy basically, and him when he's like going unhinged, he's sort of going in and out of character basically.
He's sort of kind of angry rather than kind of like
yeah.
I don't know, and of course,
kind of like.
And of course, we know that they're moving on to become the Hardy Boys again as a tag team and get a Hardy Boys run. Yeah. So, maybe that's what that is him sort of kind of coming out of the broken character, I suppose. But there you go. So that's all we get of the Hardys this week, which, you know, I mean, speaking to Craig in the week, he was kind of like, that was rubbish. Why have him turn up Against All Odds and then not have him on the following show? Makes no sense. I kind of get that, but again, I kind of get it. But I think they're saving them for the 2300 arena. I think.
Yeah, and you know there was so much else to cover from the fallout of Against All Odds, and Jeff Hardy basically stole the show by turning up on the night. So didn't need him to be there to steal everyone else's thunder again. Otherwise, everyone else would, everyone on the outside looking in would just be saying this is something that AEW would do. basically.
Yeah, I guess so. Just suddenly throw him into the mix of everything. I suppose, yeah, you could be right. And I think the whole idea, is for Jeff and Matt to get together as the Hardy Boys again.
Yeah.
They should be called the Hardy Men now, though.
No, it's always going to be the Hardy Boys.
Okay, all right, I'll let you go. They're not the Young Bucks, you know.
No,
they should be called the Old Bucks now. Because they're getting on a bit. Okay, Kushida joins Alan Angels on Soundcheck. They recap Kushida's ordeal at the hands of Jonathan Gresham Under Siege and his return to Against All Odds, where he stole a sample of Gresham's ink. Angels ask Kushida what he plans to do next, to which Kushida responds that he is determined to find a cure for Gresham's sickness. Angels cause. Yeah, he did. That's what I scientist. Angels calls him greedy, and Kushida storms off after challenging Angels to a fight next week.
I love the way Angels backed himself into a corner and then say, "Well, if you want to set, if you're going to push it, then why don't we just have a fight about it?" And Kushida says, "Fine, I'll see you next week." And then the next thing Angels goes, "Fuck."
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, that was funny. I actually quite like these segments. I think they're amusing.
I do. I think they're brilliant. It really shows off on Angels. He's got the light side and he's got the real heel side as well that we see in the ring.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Okay, so Tom Hannafan and Matthew Raybolt discussed the 5 Road to Slammiversary qualifying matches, with the first one starting tonight in the main event between Josh Alexander and Eric Young. Next week, matches will feature Steve Macklin versus Sami Callihan. Macklin's going to win that one. Nick Nemeth versus Rich Swann. So again, Nemeth's going to win that one.
Yeah,
that's 2 more places. And then we're going to get in 2 weeks, Kazarian will face Santana and Jake Something will face Joe Hendry. So I think we've got so this is my prediction. So we're going to get Macklin, Nemeth, Santana, Joe Hendry.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking, which is again like I said, same. One of the reasons why the Something and Joe Hendry match is the most hardest one to think this guy deserves it more than the other one, because Jake Something deserves it so much more. But if Joe Hendry gets into the match, because Aaron can come out and screw him over or try and do something there, and that'll continue their rivalry forward about onwards till Emergence, or maybe even to Victory Road or Bound for Glory. So
exactly,
but still, it's like something's getting put to the side for someone else's.
Someone is getting put back. At some point here, or quite a few, because there's some badass players in this, some badass players.
I'd love to see Callahan against Moose again, and Macklin, but we can't have Callahan and Macklin in this.
Callahan and put Macklin over, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Put Macklin over big time.
But if I was to just look at all the names and not have them in the match yet, I'd love to see Callahan, Macklin, and Moose. After what they did to each other in that Clockwork Orange House of Hardcore match, that was that was just amazing. I'd love to see them get in the ring and just tear it up again at some point down the line. But Macklin and Santana are going to go absolutely full pelt in this match, and one of them two is going to walk away with the belts.
Fair. I just want to go back quickly to Paul Matthew's comment. He was hoping for some sort of Octopussy stable. Of course, we were talking about that a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Thought we were going to get the Octopussy stable for Gresham. I think that would have been amazing. But it looks like they're not going to go in that direction. Okay, so we then get the Frankie Kazarian versus Ace Steel Chicago Street Fight. Now, Kaz, I don't want to go into detail on this match, so I was a bit underwhelmed with it, to be honest. But Kaz gets the win. The interesting stuff is what happened after. So after the match, Kazarian locks in the chicken wing on Ace. Joe Hendry's music hits, and he hits the ring, making the save for Ace Steel. Now, that had to be the only reason Joe didn't come out with Ace Steel.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was weird that Joe didn't come out with Ace Steel, for this one. based on the fact that at the end of the day, the reason this was happening was because Ace Steel come to the rescue of Joe.
Yeah.
Now, so they held him off. But in my opinion, because they wanted to play the music, of course, but in my opinion, Joe should have been out there with him and just made the save from ringside.
I think Ace Steel told him to stay backstage.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is the reason they did that from a storyline point of view was because they wanted him to run out to the music, didn't they? Yeah. So, but I don't know. I just didn't think it. For me, that was the wrong way to do it. I think Joe should have been out there, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. That isn't how it came.
I enjoyed the match. It was a nice, decently paced, fun hardcore match. It wasn't too gimmicky with like trash cans over people's heads, and it was literally brutal use of weapons in this match, and they really did go hell for leather on each other. And the fade to black on all the hardware was really brutal. That really made me go, oh shit.
No, I mean, it definitely had some moments, but for me it was a bit slow. But that's fine. We all have our thoughts and stuff, don't we?
But then Tom Hanna from the Mafia Rebel did touch on that. This is like Ace Steel's first professional wrestling match in about 8 years or so. He's been a trainer most of the time. He's not been an in-ring competitor. So a lot like Kazarian.
And the first thing he does is have a hardcore match.
Yeah, and so they put that there really early that he's going to be not in his element really.
Yeah, but that's true.
So it was really good. I learned a lot about Ace Steel. I knew he'd been in TNA before, but I didn't know it was with CM Punk, and I didn't know how long he was in for, things like that. So I learned a lot from this match too. It was probably another reason why I enjoyed it so much, because I learned a lot more being such a late guy to actually cross the line into TNA.
Okay.
So it was just good.
Next, we go backstage, and Mustafa Ali talks to Campaign Singh about the leaked video with distorted audio that aired Against All Odds, exposing Ali talking trash about Chicago. Singh proposes an idea to rectify the situation and tells Ali to assemble a team of the best of the best. Ali announces that next week on Impact, he will address the people in the State of the Union. Now, what I quite liked about this segment and what I think made this work was the way Campaign Singh kind of did the whole putting the idea into Ali's head, and then Ali took all the credit for it.
Yeah, I love that.
I think that's very reminiscent of kind of politicians, right?
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
It's like some of the stuff you see on the classic British comedies too, like Blackadder and things like that. Almost like the idiot's got the great idea, but the guy who the main philanthropist thinks, "Oh, no, this is a fantastic idea. I think that'll actually work."
Yeah, and then they make it up as though it's their own.
Yeah.
I think I like what they're doing with Mustafa Ali. I really do. I like all this stuff. I think it's very cool.
Every time he got into Campaign Singh's face about something, Campaign Singh really sold like, oh shit, he's gonna, almost as if he had like a guilty look on his face.
Yeah, man,
that was brilliant too.
I just think with the run that they're doing with Ali, they seem to have this mix of kind of like character, storyline, and great matches.
Yeah,
really like perfect.
Yeah, it's just like you almost don't want it to end, but at some point, someone's got to dethrone Mustafa Ali and it's going to be bloody shame, but it's going to be a damn good match when it happens.
Exactly, and that's the thing. They're all good matches.
Yeah,
they've been amazing. So we've got a good story, we've got some good character work, and we're having great matches out of it, which is so good. I'm happy with that. Okay, we then get the PCO and Steph De Lander first date. And this is basically how this kind of goes down. So PCO and Steph De Lander's date begins with eerie music playing as PCO lights candles to set the mood. Steph asks PCO about his interests and they banter back and forth. Yeah, that's a sound bite, mate. That is a sound bite. Steph jokingly suggests that PCO loves the Notebook too, adding a, hang on, you got PCO next to you.
Sorry.
Adding a light-hearted touch to their conversation. PCO pulls out a bottle of black liquid and drinks it. To Steph's dismay, she tries to, but spits it out, asking for wine instead. They unveil the tray of food, and Steph takes the opportunity to teach PCO how to use a fork. However, their peaceful moment is interrupted as AJ Francis and Witchron makes their entrance, and that was just as they were about to kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, the best bit about this for me was when they were coming in and Steph, pulls the chair so that PCO could sit down, and then he goes round and grabs the chair and is about to batter her with it. I thought that was hilarious.
Everyone's clapping him as he's coming down. He punches one of the people that's applauding him.
Brilliant.
And then he almost goes to back with those little bits that had me laughing. It was really, really well played out segment.
Cool stuff. And Steph De Lander looked amazing with the whole Bride of Frankenstein look really good.
Those who are wondering why Craig's not here, we'll be going into that just now with what comes next. He's got.
Who's asking?
No, I'm just in general because everyone. I've said I passed the message on from Craig that these two guys have got a hit on them now. It wasn't PCO, because Left Tick got his, but now look up for the big red dot over to you guys' house.
Exactly. So AJ Francis and Rich Swann make an entrance. They initially appear to be toasting the couple, but suddenly attack them instead. Francis throws wine in PCO's face, temporarily blinding him, and Swann capitalizes with a devastating super kick. Francis then chokeslammed De Lander through a table to get the height on that. Jeez, leaving PCO helpless to intervene in the corner as he was I was saying handcuffed. He wasn't handcuffed. He was they used those cable ties. He was cable tied. Yeah. So he was cable tied. Not that someone of PCO's caliber couldn't have just ripped them out. But there you go. I think even I could have just ripped them off. But then
but he wasn't in monster mode. He was almost like he was mellow. He wasn't not like he did when he was against Steve Mackin.
I think once he saw Steph being put through a table and stuff, he was pretty mad at that point. Either mad or turned on. I don't know which it was. But anyway, cool segment. I enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would do. And then
so did I.
When First Class came out and did slam Steph De Lander for a table, I was like, oh my god, this is great. This is great development for this whole story.
However, I would have liked this segment to have finished. Then they'd gone backstage holding hands or something, and then when they were backstage, Francis and Swann attacking them. I thought that would have been better, but that's just my thought.
Barry Monkey, I was upset. This is just as TNA was about to go OnlyFans with Steph, but then PCO was interrupted.
Yeah, I know that was that would have been a cool segment. Can you imagine them doing OnlyFans photo shoot? Anyway,
don't give Craig any ideas. He'll go fucking mental.
Anyway. We then get Ash by Elegance facing Heather Reckless. Now, I thought this was a really good match. I mean, obviously, Ash gets the win. But again, I think Heather Reckless is a talent that we need to be looking to sign because she is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of Heather Reckless. I have been in contact with her, actually, to try and get her to come on the show. So, who knows? We might see Heather Reckless turn up on the show at some point. I think she's great. She's a local girl to Chicago, apparently. So, I want to see more of her.
Yeah, we've seen her quite a few times, and I've been thinking that she's definitely someone that I could see working full on under contract with TNA soon too, because she's not been in a squash match like this, she's had some really good matches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a shame that the personal concierge had to yank her leg down like that to cause the fourth turnbuckle, because it was gearing up to be a pretty interesting match.
It certainly was. Now, after the match, Ash ruthlessly attacks Reckless, with the personal concierge referring to her as the Juggernaut. Well, Ash sets up the Juggernaut driver. However, Jordan Grace enters the fray, attempting to intervene. Ash doesn't discriminate and turns her aggression towards Grace, attacking her and ultimately laying her out with a vicious assault involving the TNA Knockouts Championship. Now, obviously they're setting this up. They're setting something up here. I don't know whether I'm liking it, but they're definitely setting something up. Now, a furious Jordan Grace vows to finish her problems with Ash by elegance once and for all. So I'm thinking this is going to come up at some point next couple of weeks. Maybe maybe their match is actually not going to happen at Slam, but it's going to happen at the 2300 arena.
Hopefully, yeah, because otherwise it's going to be a wasted title match. Because every time Jordan Grace has been in a match, he's put the title on the line, and if Ash FIR against not answering the open challenge has pretty much nullified any reason for her to have a title shot for no reason at the moment.
It doesn't seem to. I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, she could have just done that, couldn't she? Really?
Yeah, we could have had a triple threat match. And I was saying to Craig, we could have had oh god, I forgot her name. When he said Daphne, who
Paxley.
Yeah. Paxley and Ash FIR against him mismatched and a triple threat match. It would have been good too.
That would have been good as well. Yeah, definitely. Now, next up, we got Johnny Dango Curtis, who we were introduced to earlier at the start of the show, versus Ryan Nemeth. Now, JDC, as they were calling him, JDC gets the win.
Really good match.
I thought it was a great match. This was one of my favorites of the night. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that EY and Josh Alexander were main eventing, and that was an incredible match.
Yeah,
this would have been the match of the night. But it so happened to be the second best match of the night for me. I thought it was really good. I think JDC has proved himself. I don't know why they should just call him Johnny Curtis. I don't know. I suppose they've added the Dango in because they want to call him JDC, not Johnny Curtis. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Ryan Nemeth, I thought, had a really good show.
Yeah. All these guys in AEW, they're saying, "We miss you, Ryan Nemeth. We miss you. We want you back." Nemeth put out a response saying, "Sorry, guys, I'm having such a great time in TNA right now."
Yeah, exactly. Come and watch me there. Yeah, no, I know that.
I was like the most greatest and professional response you can give to anybody. Right? Just come. I'm having a great. I'm having a great time in TNA right now. Come and watch me here.
Which is exactly what he should be saying, and again, he's one of the guys that are now promoting TNA all over the place, which I think is great. Now the system enters the ring to congratulate Johnny Dango Curtis on his victory. However, their celebration turns into a vicious beatdown on Ryan Nemeth. Just when it seems like Nemeth is outnumbered, Nick Nemeth rushes to the ring to save his brother. The Nemeth brothers stand tall together, ready to take on the system and defend their honor. So, in defeat, the Nemeth brothers, in the end, standing tall. So, yeah, good to see. Good to see. Happy with that. I thought that was a good way to end that one. And, of course, try and get one over on the system. We then get the main event. So, we've got Eric Young versus Josh Alexander in their Road to Slammiversary match. And I have to say,
wow,
this was a great match.
Yeah.
And it was hard fought, heavy hitting, tough match. But when it was all said and done, Josh Alexander picks up the win and is now entered into the main event at Slammiversary for the world title. And of course, Impact goes off air. First in. What are your thoughts? Josh Alexander first in the 6-man. What do you think?
I think it's the right choice to get the most obvious guy in, but that's like the outsider in perspective. From a personal standpoint, I think it was going to be the face of the franchise, like the standard, or the voice of TNA, and both of these guys really have it. And it was just such an incredible. It was like their match at Slammiversary refined a lot more. So a lot more hard hitting, a lot more shorter, and my God, these guys just went help. Whoever won deserved it. Josh Alexander, he's got miles ahead of him still in his career. So he was him and Moose have got that history too. So that it's like long-term storytelling coming back again, which is something that TNA do brilliantly too. We've got that long history with Alexander and Moose, and it's given that I think it's like last time Josh was in Chicago, he had to relinquish his title too. So that was like it was redemption for that too. So it was really good. Just a great feel good moment for him, and the show of respect at the end too. It was really nice to see too.
The show of respect at the end. They were cut. They hugged, and Eric Young. It's almost like Eric Young is just sort of kind of like he was putting Josh over.
Yeah.
And Big Bang Bosch, he's there in the main event. I actually had a funny feeling Josh was going to lose, and I'll tell you why. Because I had a feeling that we were going to get a one-on-one match with Josh. At Slammiversary, potentially against maybe a WWE person or NXT person or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe Josh Alexander versus AJ Styles was coming up, but we might see Eric Young versus AJ Styles.
Well, we might do, but I was thinking
that would be fucking brilliant.
Well, I was thinking it was going to be Josh versus that Gable guy.
Yeah,
but because they're both very good technical wrestlers. But anyway, I digress. Guys, please take the time to share and like today's show. Help us to promote TNI and, of course, TNA to the masses. If you want to grace us with a super sticker or two, you're more than welcome. We appreciate every single one of those. But, of course, make sure you like and you share. We need to get this show out there. We want people to watch us, and we want people to start watching TNA. Let them all know that TNI is the place for all TNA related stuff.
We need to know you guys believe.
Do you believe in TNI? Then share and like.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We all believe, baby. We all believe. Okay, this Thursday, TNA Impact. So the road to Slammiversary World Title qualifiers continue with Nick Nemeth versus Rich Swann. Again, I'm predicting Nemeth to win. Steve Macklin versus Sami Callihan. Sammy's going to put Steve over. So I think there's our two next names. I'm telling you now, that main event is going to be absolutely loaded.
It's going to be brilliant. Yeah. Amazing main event. I'm just so but that match alone has sent so much momentum for me when I finished watching Impact yesterday. I was literally buzzing for almost an hour after, just the excitement going through me. Thinking
the only other thing I was thinking was if Rich Swann goes over Nick Nemeth, then we get the Nemeth brothers in a tag match.
Yeah,
at Slam, but we'll see. We've then got the Mustafa Ali State of the Union address, which we hit on earlier. That should be interesting. We've got Alan Angels versus Kushida. Obviously, we found out how that match was made, which was funny. We've got Zaya Brookside versus Masha Slamovich. It's going to be great to see Masha in the match.
Brilliant.
I think, unfortunately, Zaya is going to get a beating. And we've got the three-way tag match between ABC, Something and Diener, and, of course, the Rascals. That should be a corker.
That's going to be amazing. That's the first I've heard of that match. Wow, I didn't look at all the matches that are coming up for Thursday.
Well, that's what ABC were asking for something, weren't they?
They were asking for something big, but my God, this is like brilliant. I think it's because they have beaten every team basically one-on-one now, so they needed something different, and this is really going to keep them on their toes. And wow, just wow is like all I can say. This is going to be bloody good.
I think that's going to be a corker, absolute corker. I think we're set to have a hell of an impact this Thursday, and I think if you miss this one, you're going to be missing some serious stuff. And of course, I think we can see some matches being made for Slam. I would imagine that the state of address, we're going to get the X Division title match sorted.
Yeah.
At that point, which should be interesting. Okay, guys, that's about all we got time for this week. Also, if you want to show your support for TNI UK or, of course, the US teams, please feel free to super sticker us and head over to prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store for everything else that you might think of, mugs, t-shirts, mouse mats, hoodies, all sorts. Then of course go and check that link out. You can go via the store on the YouTube channel. So go and check that one out. Of course, all the links below as always. All TNI shows are available to all you listen on the Go fans on audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JOK empty space. You can jump onto Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and look for hashtag empty space, hashtag into the void, or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humor, hashtag daily eagle. But approach with an open mind, you just might keep your sanity.
I love it. Okay, if you want to follow TNI on the socials, of course, that's at We Talk Impact, and of course that would be on all social media at We Talk Impact, Facebook, Instanet, obviously X, wherever the socials are, we are there at We Talk Impact. If you're interested in finding out a bit more about myself, you want to follow me, find me at Lord Bison 45 on the X, or on TikTok at Bison by Design. If you want to follow my motivational fitness journey, feel free to go and join that. I'm doing so. I also do some promotion, obviously, for TNI on there as well. But go and check that out at Bison by Design on TikTok. Go and follow me on there. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. Give it 2 thumbs up if you can, if you've got more than one account. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from UK and US teams, TNA related stuff each and every single week. With all that said, I have, of course, been your host, Bison, and he has been the man coming to us from the void, the Joker. And this has been episode 187 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.